All right, so this is our very first warm-up problem. So we're going to go through this together. So hopefully you've taken the time to try this problem out. Remember the words that the problem was asking you to do that said, what value of x would make the equation true? So when we think about an equation, the first thing we need to think about here is understanding that an equation has an equal sign. And when we do an equation where we've got this equal sign, we're actually understanding that everything on the right side, so 10, is the same as everything on the left side. So negative x plus 9 is exactly the same value as 10. So whatever value we can think of for x, that would make sure that we understand that the left yellow part is the same as the right yellow part, 10. All right, so let's talk about some strategies of what we're going to do. First off, we're going to be focused on trying to solve for x. Really, the strategy is what we're doing is we are isolating. So we're going to isolate the variable. And what I mean by the variable is the letter representing the number. So in this case, it's x. We are solving for x. X represents some number or numbers, depending on the type of equation we are trying to solve for. And in this case, we want to get x by itself so that it's x equals some value. And that's what we're going to work on. So in order to do that, we're going to start, and we're only looking at the left side, the left yellow area to start. And we're saying, what do we need to get rid of? Well, we need to get rid of that negative in front of the x, and we also need to get rid of that positive 9 or that plus 9. So we're going to start with that plus 9. And we are going to get rid of that plus 9 first because it is kind of, the way I think about it is furthest away from x. And really it's because you can't, or what the strategy or the move we're going to do here, we can't do to the x, we can only do to the 9. So what we're going to do is we are going to try to get rid of 9 and move it over to the other side. Well, in order to get rid of 9 on the left side, we have to make it 0. It has to disappear. And the only way we can make 9 become 0 is to subtract 9, because disappearing means it has a value of 0. So 9 minus 9 gives me 0. But I also know whatever I do to one side, I have to do to the other side of the equation because, as we said before, the left yellow and the right yellow have to be the same. Well, if I subtracted 9 from the left yellow or left of that equal sign, I also have to subtract 9 from the right of that equal sign as well. So let's see what happens from there. And we subtract down. I'll just keep it. Okay. And we are left with negative x. The 9s cancel out. 9 minus 9 is 0. I'm not going to write 0 because 0 is really non-existent there. Equals 10 minus 9, which is 1. If you need a calculator, feel free to get a calculator out at that point. All right, the next thing to know is that we have this negative in front of x. We really want there to be no number in front of x. Not a 0, though, because if it was 0 in front of x means there's 0 x's, which means there's nothing there. We still want there to be 1 x there, so we would rather it just be a 1. We assume there is a 1 there if there is nothing in front of it. And if there is just a negative in front of there, we are going to assume that it's negative 1. It's just notation. In this case, we need to get rid of the negative 1. The way that we're going to do that in this case is we are again going to have to do one of our order of operations. And in this case, we're going to do division. And the reason we're going to do division and not subtraction, addition in this case, is if we did addition, if we did addition here and we weren't thinking of like terms, and we just added the negative 1 to the 1, it would make it 0. And again, we don't want it to be 0. We want it to be 1x. So we're going to have the negative 1s, negative 1 divided by negative 1, that's going to cancel out or become 1. The negative 1s are canceling out. The x is still there. So the x is still going to be there, leaving me with x. And then the 1 divided by -1, because remember, whatever we do to one side of that equal sign, the yellow side, is going to equal the left side of the yellow side. We have to do the right side, yellow side. And we get x equals -1. And that is our first warm-up of the day.